Welcome to Nolly's World of Productivity, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, we share our experiences, and we give advice. Today, I have some very special people with me, starting with my host, Johnny.
How's it going, world? Welcome to Nolly's World. How's it going, everybody?
That's right. And then we have three other people that took productivity to the very next level. I mean, they're using their time wisely. Go ahead, y'all.
Start with my fellow Beard Gang Matters brother over here. Please introduce yourself to the world.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Benaj Igwe. I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit called The Way. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Awesome.
My name is V, the only letter. I am the creator and host of the Oh That Sexy podcast. You can find that podcast on SoundCloud at Oh That Sexy podcast / SoundCloud.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Rochelle, and I am the creator and author behind the blog candycanedreams.ca. Kane is spelled Qane. And basically, I am travel and lifestyle blogger.
Awesome. Okay. So I see we got some very interesting names going on. All right. And it looks like it kind of fits your personality. So can you please tell me what made you guys come up with this name? Candy Cane with a Q?
Yeah. So I had an aunt, and her name was Pearl. And she was the only one who named me Candy. So no one called me that. But a few years ago, she died of cancer. And so I was like, well, how do I still go about having someone call me Candy since she's no longer around? So basically, that's where the candy stemmed from. And then the cane is basically something sweet because, you know, I'm sweet. So I just figured it would be a great match.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I already know.
Very, very beautiful. Now, our fellow, there's somebody here who's a Jets fan, so all you football fans here, you might be the one to talk to over here. So yeah, step up to the plate. Explain the inspiration behind the name of your creation.
So the Oh That Sexy podcast. So basically, I was sitting around and thinking about like what to name the podcast, and just calling the podcast the Vincent Wheeler podcast is pretty boring. And in the title of the Oh That Sexy podcast, or I should say the intro, it's basically things that I think are sexy, right? So I think there's a plethora of things that I think are really attractive. I think good credit is attractive. I also think that mental health is attractive. Right? Yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, that's attractive. But I also think, you know, if we're aware of the dangers in life, that's also sexy because we're aware of the pitfalls that we can fall into. And that's shared experiences between one and another. And, you know, I always used to say that, you know, especially when something bad happened, I used to say sarcastically, I was like, oh, that's sexy. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's a really cool title for a podcast. And I checked it out. Nobody had it, thank God. And so now it's mine. So, boom, Oh That Sexy podcast.
Your catchphrase became a statement, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. The Way, I'm correct. It's not spelled W-A-Y, correct?
No, it is not. It is spelled W-E with an accent to make it sound like an A-Y. So, you know, that name came to me in the office. I was with my buddy who's a producer. He writes music. And we were talking about ideas for a podcast. And my wife and I have been talking about this for a while as well. And we were thinking of what would we name this? I'm like, my last name is Igwe. So I figured, I'm like, why not The Way? I mean, it just kind of fits because there's so many different ways of doing things. And I think the goal of our nonprofit is really to show folks different ways of doing things in their history, whether they're professionals or just experts in certain areas, and then bring that knowledge into one place so that everyone can kind of partake of that. You know, I feel like in our community, you know, we don't have enough of that sharing of knowledge and information. And I feel like everyone has a way, you know, everyone has a dharma, you know, some sort of goal in life of what they want to do and accomplish. So, you know, the name kind of fit with the goals and objectives of our nonprofit. So that's kind of how that came together. And it sounds nice. So, you know, whatever.
Everybody has something that they want to do and establish and meet a goal in their life. And you guys definitely went the next level to actually create it. So I have to commend you guys for that. But within that sense, what made you want to now create this image or share your voice, share your opinion with those around you?
Well, for me, it all started with a breakup. I actually wanted to do a blog from before, and I never actually went ahead with it. So last July, I signed up and I just left it. It was dormant. And then in January, broken heart. And I was like, well, you didn't want to hear me speak, so someone will. And I decided to jump straight in. The first page looked like nothing. It was like you had a Word document with a picture and some words. And then slowly as, time went on, I started, developing the site. And it just goes to show that something as simple as a breakup can basically, help you to leap into what your destiny could be.
That's true. Definitely, I can see that. Vince?
Well, I guess for me, ironically, mine did start with a breakup. And
oh, so we got breakup blogs and podcasts going on over there.
Negatives can be positives, people. Negatives can be positives.
but it was one of those things where it was just I felt like in my past relationship, I felt like they were thin. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I've tried to link it up with so many friends to get it together. I had a group of friends, and we all shared different views of life, and I mean, they were really good at what they understood and believed in. So, I wanted to get with them, and it did with another group. That didn't work. And so it was like, you know what? Screw it. I just broke up with this woman. I need something to do with my life, and I'm going to make it better than what she felt she left it as. So I started my podcast.
That's powerful. That is powerful.
That is dope. Now, the way. Please step up.
All right. Well,
how this came about.
Yeah, New Year's Day. So my wife and I, we did this thing where we decided to just stay home and game plan. Everyone else is kind of bringing the new year, and we were like, you know what do we want to do this year? What do we want to accomplish? And we literally took out an Apple notepad and decided to work out all the different types of businesses and ideas we wanted to accomplish in 2020. And, that was the beginning of it. We wrote it down. We wrote down all the different types of ideas we had, all of the stuff we wanted to do. And one day, I think just this past month, something just hit me. I was like, you know what, just do this. And I literally from 0 to 100, just kind of looked up the name, started applying for the licenses, getting the nonprofit applications in, finding a lawyer, looking up the website, starting to build a website. It just went from nothing into something because it was written down. And I feel like when you have a goal and you write that down, it's only a matter of inspiration and time before it becomes real. And that's really what happened. We decided to just make it real. And then I took initiative, and then she backed, and together it just became something greater. So for us, it was a goal that we had from the beginning of the year that we wanted to see manifest into something great. And a little bit of courage and a little bit of elbow grease, and now we have a whole nonprofit. So yeah, that's kind of what 2020 is about for us. It's about making something out of nothing and creating something that never existed that can help people. So
awesome.
That started.
That is some real couples goal. You started like, I'm getting married hopefully soon, and I'm trying to come up with a business, and I think you are my inspiration. And I think I might have to talk to you too, since you're dealing with finance and stuff, because I think I'm gonna need your help in just letting people know.
Gotcha.
But question for all you guys: are you guys currently? You guys are full time working? Am I correct or incorrect here?
Yeah, full time.
Yeah,
okay. All right. How long have you guys been working on your creation, and how have you been able to balance your work life with your deep passion with your blogs and your podcast and your financial advice?
Well, I've been well, all right. So let me give you a little bit of background. So I was a songwriter, and I was a music artist for quite some time. And it's funny that I saw a YouTube channel about how to find your passion. And, it's not one of these things where you can just sit down and just write out like, okay, this is a passion. I like this. I like that. It's like a navigational system, right? So you got to have to drive and go through certain things, right? I like music, I like entertainment, I like people. So I spent a lot of time talking and a lot of times negotiating, especially with artists about songs and credits and stuff like that. And I realized, I was like, wow, I got a knack for talking to people. And then, you know, it got to where it was like, well, how do I meet and negotiate with other people about certain work? And then that got into having conversations about their personal life. And I realized, I'm like, wow, this is exactly what a podcast is. We're just sitting down, you know, having a conversation. Only difference is it's a mic and there's kind of a structure to the conversation. But the conversation never really changes, right? You can still have a great conversation and never change. There's skill in having a podcast, but you can have a conversation with literally anybody about anything. So over the years, and it took me about maybe 12 years for me to figure out that, like, wow, podcasting might just be it. And that goes through a funnel of no's with this song, or no's with this connection, yes with this record, yes with that connection. And it took about 12 years for me to figure out, wow, right, podcasting is it. I've never felt more at home than being on the mic and having a conversation than I've ever been in anything in my life.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, I basically started this because people kept asking me about, like, my hair, how I, do with my natural hair, or, how do I put on makeup, and, about my travel life. And so I initially said I had no time for it because I had a full-time job. But then I realized that if you want something, well enough, you'll go after it no matter what. So sometimes I'm up until like 1 a.m. and then I'm basically an insomniac. I don't sleep. So during that time, I'm either on Instagram looking at, researching how other people do certain things. I'll be on YouTube on weekends, long weekends as well. So for me, I might work, from 9 a.m. to 5:30. My job is an hour and a half away from me. So that's 3 hours in the morning and evening collectively together. So by the time I come home, I'm tired. But, I find time during the weekends and the late nights. So that's how I do it.
Okay. All right. And I mean, for me, it's kind of similar. My 9 to 5, I'm a director of operations at a nonprofit. So I've been doing a lot of philanthropic work for the last, it's been 8 years now. I also have a real estate business on the side. So I have properties that I manage, and I do a lot of different trainings for that. So like lead-based paint training, things like that for that business. So finding time for this was really just kind of carving out after 5 p.m., just having a hard stop and saying, hey, director of operations, that goes this way. Real estate, that goes this way. And I need to kind of just find time for this. So I've been finding that, from like maybe 6 to like 8 has been my time for working on the podcast, the nonprofit, and those things every single day. I feel like when you have a mission like this, you don't have a lot of time. So you've got to make time, and you've got to move things around. There are people in your life who usually take some of your time, whether it's playing Madden because I love video games, or whether it's going out and hanging out with my buddies, or whether that's playing basketball. There are certain things that I've had to sacrifice to start this and to kind of nurture this. And the quarantine has helped because, we can't do anything right now. So all you have is really the time to kind of focus on that is in-house, which this would be a podcast or a nonprofit development. Like that's all things that we can do with cell phones, webcams, and a mission. So yeah, for me, it's been really cool to kind of find time to make this happen, but you had to make it happen. Like you have to literally cut away from other things in order to make the time for this dream to be something real. So,
right.
Since you brought up quarantine, do you think that being in quarantine has helped for you to progress in your creations? Has it caused you to think about it more, or are you trying, made you more innovative in ways that you present it?
Yes, definitely. I guess for me, it's more of a stop and go kind of a thing. You can get definitely caught up in just like going on Netflix and chilling out. I'm on furlough for my job. I still get paid by the grace of God. But, you get caught up in the Netflix movie, or you get caught up. I love anime. So you get caught up in whatever show that you want to get, watch and stuff like that. But it comes a point in time in your spirit. And that's what I really want to like touch on. There's something in your spirit that'll let you know, like, okay, time to wake up. You know what I mean? Like this time, there's a goal that you had here, right? There's something that you need to do. You're looking at people that are possibly surpassing you on so many different levels in your field, and you know you're just as talented as they are. And there's nothing stopping you being that top dog but you. It's nothing at all. You know what I mean? It's all about you. It's all about what you do and the hour of what you do it. And once you know, quarantine has helped with that. Quarantine has helped me find out what the hidden demons are that get in your way. And that's where that alone time is quite useful.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
Bernard, what about you? I mean, I know you touched upon it. If you want to just reiterate it, or, you know, with this quarantine's giving you a lot more time to work on your craft and spread your message out to people.
It has, you know, and even right now, like we're experiencing so many volatile rates in the market, and there's so many things that are going on. Folks don't even have the basic tools to know what to do right now. So the quarantine has kind of been twofold. You know, it's given me the time to kind of sit down and have that peace and quiet with my wife and I, and we can just kind of go through different ideas, put together. She's been put together a deck. It looks amazing. Like just being able to have the time to do these things is really epic. But I think the quietness has been what's been the most helpful. You know, being able, like we said, you know, when you have time to just think and just not be distracted, you'd be surprised how much things come to mind. And it's literally in your spirit. Like it literally will bother you until you do something. So the quarantine has definitely quieted down a lot of the noise for me and for my co-partner and co-founder. And we've literally been crushing this for the last 2 weeks, you know, last 3 weeks. We've been in quarantine for the last month. So yeah, it's definitely helped.
All right. And Rochelle, what about you? How's the quarantine affected, you know, your blog?
Well, for me, it affects me in the way of what am I going to present to the world? Not everyone right now wants to hear about, you know, I mean, travel when they can't. I mean, right now people are warming to the idea again because it's something to look forward to. But my last blog, or the blog before that blog post, I had like a COVID-19 survival kit, basically. So it basically
we need that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We need that.
Let me get that blog. Send that.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Let's go.
So I had things on there from, you know, how you can balance, you know, being at home, doing things that you said you were going to do at home that you never got a chance to do, or even maintain your sanity. You know, there's resources available now that, you know, a lot of people would have to pay for, like on apps, whether that's meditation apps or what have you. Now they're doing it for free. So it's basically just listing a lot of things, even Netflixing or, you know, house parties or whatever it is that can help you. So that's what I've been more so focusing on during this time.
That is beautiful. And you talk about travel. Let me tell you something. I love to travel. I don't know who in this world doesn't like to travel. If you don't like to travel, I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, we have a blend right now because between I need to get my budget right so I can travel, and I need something good to listen to while I'm traveling. I mean, this is like a good cycle for me.
Right.
You got that right. Oh my gosh. So, question for all you guys. What makes your creation so unique? That what is it about your creation that you're hoping will draw people in to come and take a look, to invest their time into reading or into listening or into educating themselves about?
That's a good question.
Well, for me, the aim that I had when I created this was basically to take everyone on an adventure with me. Places that people, it's like chronicling my journeys, places that people want to go, but maybe they haven't saved up enough money to go to yet. And it can help them to motivate them to go. And also just being beautiful, you know, doing so and taking them on this journey, just letting them know that you don't have to look like a bum everywhere you go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you want to, but you can also look cute doing that and no one will judge you. It's great. So just to build up self-esteem as well.
I hear that. Adventure and beauty.
Yeah.
I need to build up my self-esteem right now because this beard is a little woofing and I want to travel too. So I'm gonna definitely check you out. But before I could travel, I need to have money. I need to make sure my money's right. So Bernard, like what makes your creation so unique and draw people towards you?
You know, it's all about shared knowledge. You know, we have a statement on our site. It says, "How we give says a lot about who we serve." And as a religious person myself, you know, you got to figure out how you want to be known and how you want to be remembered. You know, this is about legacy. You know, a lot of times growing up, if my family didn't have a lot growing up and no one educated my mother and my father about certain things, they had to go and get it themselves.
Right.
My dad came to village
That
in
is
Africa.
true. What we learn is, you know, save your money or work hard. That's what we learn.
Oh boy.
And it's so, and no one ever actually sits us down and says you should have a healthy respect and understanding of money. Like as young professionals, we never got that until we got hit with a credit card in college or in high school, and we racked that thing up, and then all of a sudden now 5 different people.
You better preach.
They knew what they.
We got no plans on going to. So for me, it's like we have to just give something back that, you know, can make the world better. And for me, that's what I hope folks resonate with our idea is that we're doing something from the goodness of our heart in the hopes that it can help other people no matter where they are. Like we venture into relationships, into finance, and into philanthropy. And those 3 things are the areas that we have different classes and series on. So for us, we hope that you're going to resonate with one of those 3 things, and hopefully all of them, because I think you need money in order to give. you need the mental wellness in order to like be able to help others. Like these are all things that you need. So yeah, I think that that's kind of what makes us different, really.
And that's a good factor because it is free information. This is literally nonprofit free information. Like if you don't have time for free information to build yourself up, then what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like how do you expect to get to the next level in life? So I can definitely see that. Yeah.
True. I guess for me, you know, we learn, I think as humans, we learn from seeing others and hearing others go through things that we all go through, right? And we can share and relate, and we can compare and contrast a lot of things. That's how humans work. But we work off of connectivity. And I guess with my podcast, like when I first started out, we were just talking to talk. And then I realized during these conversations that a lot of people are like, they're letting a lot of things in life go during these conversations. And, you know, I've had people come on and they've came out to their family. And this is the first time that they've ever came out. I've had people come on. Yeah. I've had people come on and they're talking about traumatic life experiences that they've gone through. Like one girl, unfortunately, you know, she was shot and she made it through. And, you know, the whole history with that one, it was about like, you know, be careful who you're around. Be careful who you're talking to. Be careful about certain things. And we talked about that. I mean, it was healthy. I tried to make the conversation not so much playful, but as joyous as I could. But the beauty of the That's Sexy podcast is that it's very raw and it's very organic, and nothing is fake about it. It's a genuine conversation between 2 people. And you know, if you really want to listen to people actually just talk, and not something where it's like a coerced podcast and the questions are really coerced and finite and stuff like that. It's just a conversation about real people that are having real conversations about real subjects in life, because that's how each one of us learn from one another, right? It's through our authenticity that we see the realness, and I think that's sexy, right? So.
Yeah.
That is indeed sexy, man. It's great to hear that, you know, your podcast is non-GMO, all natural.
What?
It is Whole Foods quality. I love it.
It's genuine, man. It's real. It's authentic. And that's why I agreed to do this forum. This is authentic with people here that are just like, you can see it in their eyes. They're like, this is really what I do. And I'm coming from a humble beginnings, and that's like-minded people. This is a good hub. I'm liking this. This is great. It's beautiful.
I'm glad you like it, and honestly, that's what it's about. It's about getting like-minded people who are starting from humble. Like, everybody has a startup. Nobody gets up and they're like automatically famous with like 50 million followers. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, you need to put in the work. You need to understand how it works, and you need to sometimes know the person behind the product. And that's exactly what I wanted to get today. And you guys did an awesome job. I thank you guys so much for joining me, and I thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it 100%, and I hope that everyone who listens to this will know that, you know what, I need to be a part of their build, because they're building something great, okay? And I know you guys are going to do great things in the future. So once again, if anyone needs information, their links will be below. Don't be afraid to hit on their links or get on their Instagrams, you know, ask questions, find out information, listen to their podcasts, check out their blogs. If there's anything specific you want me to ask, go ahead and put a post, comment below this. And I appreciate you guys for all being here. So thank you again for being a part of Nalika's world of productivity. Mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Adios.